Hello students, I am Arun Kumar Khannur, internationally reputed software professional, consultant and trainer with 30 plus years of experience from industry and academia. I will be with you for the next 8 sessions, out of which 4 will be on Agile software development, and we are beginning with the first module on Agile software development, wherein I cover the Agile manifesto, values and principles. In this one, by the end of the session, you will understand and appreciate the rationale for Agile software development methods. You will understand and appreciate the Agile manifesto values and principles, and you will understand and appreciate the differences between Agile and plan driven development. So, we are starting with the value, why there is a need for rapid development and delivery of software which is ever increasing. Today's world is under pressure from many dimensions. One side, technical disruptions, ever emerging technologies; another side, emergence of competing products and services by many product companies. Third factor is changing social and economic conditions. The social media and others are having greater impact, and global economy is putting additional pressure, and also new opportunities and markets in third world countries are increasing in a big way. Under these 4 factors, there is a tremendous pressure on software development organizations, wherein they have to build the software and software dependent systems and products in a fastest manner and deliver it. This emphasis is on rapid development and delivery of software and deployment of the same, and which becomes a critical requirement for any software product company and software system company. Under this scenario, there is a lot of change that has taken place in the entire world. Customer is no more inclined towards giving a thick requirement specification document, because the requirements go on changing from the day they have been defined and the day when the entire product has been built up and comes for user acceptance testing. Since there is a gap between what has been planned and what has been delivered, there is a difference between expectations. Now, modern day customers are more inclined towards converting their ideas rather than giving rigid requirement specifications. Because of that, they expect the development organization to understand their ideas, and they say that I do not want to sign off, please deliver the software as per my requirements. At the end of the show, I am going to check it up, and if it is acceptable, fine, then I will take it, otherwise I will give my views, like that he says. And he wants the workable product as soon as possible. He is ready to compromise little bit on quality, but he wants workable product, and he expects that this workable product may undergo many changes and it may get updated as we proceed. And he expects the software development organization to do it fast, in days or weeks. The luxury of developing software and delivering it in 6 months time and 1 year time is more a luxury and impractical nowadays. Everything has to be delivered in weeks time. However, if we have to fulfill these requirements, we expect a lot of attitudinal change in the people. However, customer is more rigid now. Customer needs everything to be delivered yesterday. And if something comes out as an issue or a problem or a risk, the customer says, sorry, I am your customer, I have sponsored the project, and because of that, it is your problem, you have to fix it. I don't want to give my views. That is what he says. No one wants to pay for anything. Okay, you are bringing in some innovation. Oh, great, I appreciate the product and the way in which it evolved. I am ready to pay extra money for the value you are delivering it. Like that, customer is not ready to say. So, under these circumstances, we have to worry about the product, but what is actually happening is client is more worried about the project. Project means scope, schedule, effort and cost. The scope has to be fulfilled within the given effort and budget and with a specified quality. And he is not bothered about product, he is mapping the product against the requirements, he is not evaluating the product. So, this is the greatest worry. However, with CMM, CMMI, ISO, all these methods where we used high matured processes to deliver the best of the quality product, like that we decided and implemented across the organization, but we failed miserably. And CMMI need not deliver good quality products. Now, if we want to ensure better quality product and we want to stay in the market and continue to be relevant, then what we need to do? That is a $1,000,000 question. To address this, lot of things have taken place. Out of that, one is we have to accept the change, and change is continuously coming after we accept our requirements and we have to deliver the software. Second one is project and customer vendor mindset is no more working. Because of that, project teams, customers and vendors have to work together to co-create to deliver best of quality software. And customer and user needs greater product. He need not bother about compliance with the requirements and traceability of accepted requirement and its reflection in the final product. What customer and end user is saying, I am not at all bothered about your requirements, but I want the product which appeals to me, which should be innovative, which should be technically advanced, which should be usable. Like that he says. Then what next? How can we fulfill customer and users expectations? How can you expect us to consider the changes regularly and incorporate those changes in the product? And we may accept the change till the last phase of the software development life cycle, and we have to banish all these the different customer vendor mindset, and together we have to create it. So, if we have to do all that thing, then we have to move away from conventional project and process mindset and to deliver best of the quality product. So, we have to accept change and we have to worry about delivering the workable product. Get away from irrelevant project development, process and documentation and focus only on delivering workable product. As a result of all these things, the entire software community started thinking some option. We want to get away from conventional life cycle model and we want to have something new. As a result of this effort, we have agile software development approach that has been put across in many companies. So, we must incorporate agile software development approach to address these issues. Now, what is this agile model? So, unlike other software development models which we have studied in the first module, like life cycle models like waterfall model, rapid application development model, spiral model, incremental model, iterative model, and so forth. Agile model is something totally different from those approaches. Here it assumes that the change is constant. So, our life cycle development models shall adapt to change rather than control change. This is very practical and major movement away from conventional software development models, which assume that once you finalize the requirements, don't try to change the requirement, consider requirement as a constraint on you, try to reflect those requirements in the final product. If the changes to the requirements are coming in the later phases, then try to avoid them, try to negotiate so that those requirements can be considered in the next version of the product, not in the very version which we are building. Like that, we try to avoid the changes to the requirements. And object oriented models, where we want to have component based the design and architecture to make our product scalable and flexible, is no more relevant under agile model. We are interested in delivering the workable product which has to fulfill immediate need of the customer and end user. If we need to change, then we can consider it as some other thing. Like that, we decide there. So, how this agile approach is different than other conventional life cycle models? Other conventional life cycle models, they have got phases, and at the end of every phase, we have got well defined work products. These work products undergo verification and validations. If they are fulfilling our requirements, then we baseline. These baseline work products are becoming the inputs to next phase. For example, consider requirement specification phase. After the requirement specification phase is complete, we will be having requirement specification document. If all the verification validation takes place, and once we find the requirement specifications are good, then we baseline it, we do not accept any more changes, and that requirement specification document becomes the basis for functional specification. At the end of functional specification, we are going to get baseline functional specification, which becomes the input to next architectural design. At the end of architectural design, we get the work product documentation, which are going to be input to coding. Like that, we proceed. Means, after creating something, we are going to verify and validate. And if something is wrong, we give the input and correct it back. So, there is a gap between what has been created and what has been verified and validated. There is a time gap. So, in the agile, what we have made is the whatever has been created and whatever has been reviewed, they are taking place simultaneously. So, we are not interested in putting the verification and validation after creation. We are interested in giving the feedback of multiple stakeholders when the product is under development. So, creation and review, inspection and validation are taking place simultaneously. So, in this entire evolution, we moved away from pure validation to verification and validation to process based the development using CMMI and other things. And now, the next phase of agile is coming, where we create something and simultaneously the others are go on giving their views so that it can be improved upon. So, that results in the agile manifesto. In the agile manifesto, to produce, the overall objective is to produce better software product by reducing the time gap between doing some activity and gaining feedback. For example, if I am writing the code, the next to me another person is reviewing it. I am not giving the code after creation. While creating my code itself, another person will be sitting next to me, he goes on giving his views. I go on correcting it, and once the code is stabilized, I say that coding is being done. Like this, doing some activity and gaining feedback instantly and correcting it. That makes Agile Manifesto to stand apart from the rest of the software development life cycles. If we have to fulfill these things, then we have to give importance for 4 important ideas. And these ideas are making the Agile approach to stand apart from conventional software development life cycle models. Conventional software development life cycle models basically are using analytical thinking. Once requirement specification is baselined, which is actually nothing but the problem specification for which we have to provide the solutions in the form of software or system, then we are using agile thinking, we are using analytical thinking, split the requirements into many logical groups. For each of the logical groups, we want to create software modules, and for those software modules, we are interested in searching for better architecture and design approaches, and we select the best, and we build small programs, and we integrate those programs and build units. Units are combined together to create modules. Modules are integrated together to build the final system. Like that, in a conventional analytical thinking based software development life cycles like waterfall model, then iterative model, evolutionary prototype model, spiral model, we build the software. Means agile thinking plays very crucial role, and also there are different roles which are contributing there. There will be the functional specification expert, requirement engineer, then there is architect, there is a designer, there is a QA person, technical writer. All of them have got a very specified roles and responsibilities, and they are accountable for their work. If somebody is making the mistake, they rarely provide inputs, though they understand that there is something wrong, they keep mum. But Agile is something different here. What it says is, if we want to create the workable product which is acceptable to the customer and end user, then there should be seamless communication and interaction among individuals. So, these individuals and interactions are preferred over processes and tools. These individuals and must communicate with each other, always seeking the best of the solutions. They have to openly express their views, reservations, provide alternative solutions, some new innovations, and like that, by exchanging their ideas seamlessly, by always focusing upon workable product, they should work. They should not much bother about processes and tools. Processes and tools, many of the times, they are actually killing the innovation. They are making the people to work like robots. However, Agile is setting the higher level macro objectives and leaving liberty to the individuals to work with their own style to deliver the best, and also it allows those individuals to interact with others, and others also can voluntarily give their view to improve upon the individual's work. Second important key idea is working software is preferred over comprehensive documentation. Agile is not against the documentation, but Agile is against comprehensive process oriented over documentation. So, Agile always talks about, if you think that some documentation is relevant and if the team says so, then do it. If we think that documentation is not at all required in this, then we can proceed with the direct development and team can exchange their ideas. On the board also, they can discuss about this is a way we want to proceed with, and once all the team members agree upon, then they start building their working software. And customer collaboration is preferred over contract negotiation. The more we involve the customer, more we engage him, the better will be our final product. we do not want to maintain the customer and vendor separation here. Customer and the software development organization, they join their hands together and they are going to seamlessly discuss and they are going to put ideas together to deliver best of the product. Co-creation with collaboration is preferred over contract negotiation. And fourth important thing is, in the conventional models we always found that what we agreed upon in the requirement specification, what we finally delivered in the form of product after 6-8 months, then there is always a gap between the technology which is available in the market, and also we found that there is a huge gap between the what has been baseline and what our product the competitors are delivering, and our product or software always having gap from the existing current market scenario. So, if we have to plug in, then the software, after we start our software development till the delivery time, we should be open to changes. So, Agile fourth principle or idea is talking about the same. This fourth idea is talking that responding to change is preferred over following a plan. These four key ideas make Agile a very adaptable approach which is accepting the changes to deliver the relevant product which is acceptable to the customer and end user. In order to implement these ideas, we have to follow certain principles in our Agile projects. First one is customer involvement. So, customer should be closely involved throughout the development process. His ideas and views must be incorporated. At the same time, if his ideas are irrelevant, then we have to put across from the software development organization saying that the idea proposed may not be technically feasible and it may not be economically feasible, like that we can say. Like that, involving the customer while creating the software is very crucial. Second thing is incremental delivery. Principle 2 is talking about incremental delivery. We are not aiming at delivering the software as a single product. Instead of that, we take the entire requirement specification and then the entire team decides and splits the requirements as the first, what should go in the first iteration, what should go in the second iteration, what should go in the third iteration and fourth iteration, like that. After taking a chunk of requirements, we build the workable product for those agreed upon requirements. Then we deploy it. It will be working. Now we take the second iteration and then we build it. We combine what we deliver first with the second one. Then we deploy it. Then we take the third iteration, build the software, then combine with the earlier delivered one, integrate it and deploy it. Like that, the entire software evolves by making use of incremental delivery. So, go for incremental delivery, that is the principle 2. Principle 3 is talking about emphasis on people, not on processes. People are more creative. Most of the organizations have not used the creativity of the individuals in providing the solutions. So, if we have to give the best of the best solutions, then people and their creativity shall be packaged as the innovative product. So, in order to do it, we have to give importance for people, but not processes. Please note that processes shall not be ignored, but if we find that certain processes are irrelevant, then we should have courage to ignore those processes. So, people views must be recognized and we should give liberty to the people to experiment with their ideas. The fourth principle is talking about embrace change. So, system requirements continue to change. So, be ready for it and design the system to accommodate these changes. This is the fourth principle, where we embrace the changes throughout the development. The fifth principle is talking about maintain simplicity. So, we focus on simplicity both in the software development and also the processes. The way in which we want to build the software and the way in which we want to use the processes of the development, both must be kept as simple as possible, and most of the time what to be followed is always evolving out of a in-depth discussion within the stakeholders. Now, what is the difference between Agile compared with traditional software development methods? Agile encourages technical debate among different stakeholders, whereas traditional approach it discourages. It says that, have you studied the requirement? Did you understand? Are there any issues? No? Then proceed with your work. Don't discuss now. Let us talk about it after we deliver the product. Now continue your work. Like that, traditional software development life cycles curb the interactions. Agile aims at deliver it fast and small, whereas traditional things are emphasizing on, I have given you the project schedule, stick to the project schedule. I do not want you to be fast, I expect you to stick to project schedule. Agile encourages the creativity that must be reflected in the product, whereas traditional things do not allow to experiment. So, you can do it in your free time, do not experiment in my project, like that project manager says in traditional software development life cycles. Whereas in Agile, oh, you have idea? Great, you try it out. Like that, we encourage the people to experiment. In Agile, we encourage people to fail and learn from it very fast and try to use their learnings to deliver the better product. In case of traditional software development life cycles, we discourage the failure. No, you are not allowed to fail. You always use some preventive quality measures. You undergo training, you learn the best and try to do your work in a better manner. You are not supposed to make any mistakes and you are not allowed to make any trials. Like that, we discourage. In Agile, we go for retrospective, what went wrong, what went right, how to improve upon. Whereas in traditional things, after creation of everything, we are interested in doing root cause analysis and try to incorporate changes in the next version of the processes. Agile goes for incremental development with continuous integration, whereas in traditional thing, in a single shot integration of all the components and deploying it to the customer and end user is taking place. In case of Agile, nobody is made as the culprit if something fails. It is a collective ownership. Success goes to all and failure also goes to all. That type of mindset will be there. Whereas in traditional, individuals need to be accountable. So, if there is something wrong in code, then that particular programmer is held responsible for. If something goes wrong in design, the designer is made accountable for that mistake in traditional life cycle models. In case of Agile, every person who is working in the project is information radiator. In every meeting, he comes with more and more information and more learning. Whereas, in case of traditional software development life cycles, we discourage the people, let them know only as required. Why he has to learn extra, why he should come with more preparation. Like that, we discourage the people. In case of Agile, we go for lot of informal meetings where people are openly speaking about how to improve upon. They may be walking on the corridor, they may be standing in the garden, they always think about how to improve upon. Whereas in traditional approaches, more formal review meetings, weekend meetings, monthly meetings, milestone end meetings, all such meetings are being held to discuss upon what went wrong and how to improve upon. In case of Agile, we use planning poker estimation, means the individual's experience and expertise is being used fully, and we ask everybody to estimate separately, and then we exchange the idea and finalize the estimation. We do not use formal estimation techniques, we use experience and expertise of the individuals. Whereas in case of traditional approach, we are using more formal estimation technique like function point analysis and other techniques. And in case of Agile, the product success is always depending upon the prototyping and building and showing and taking the views, and if everybody accepts it, and then the product is finalized. Whereas in case of traditional approach, user acceptance testing is being conducted to map the final product against the requirements. If it is being fulfilled irrespective of the views of the end user and other team members, then the product is accepted. So in case of Agile, the definition of done is being taken by involving all the stakeholders and plus the customer. Whereas in traditional, once user acceptance testing is take place, then negotiation takes place between development organization and the customer, seeking for sign off saying that project is complete. We have to implement all these principles and plus Agile methodology, then we are using the people, process and platform in the form of this new paradigm. People must be motivated, they must be enabled, they must be empowered, and they should be skilled. And these motivated, enabled, empowered and skilled people, seamlessly they communicate within the project. The processes are kept as lean as possible, as simple as possible. We are not going for too much documentation. Instead of that, we are going for hurdles, retrospection and plus stand-ups. Here, all the people are day to day discussing and coming out with a better solution. Are there any options? Like that, they think about what went wrong. If there is some slippage, can you make it in next few hours? If some other person in the team, can he contribute to improve upon? Like that we ask. Once we take their views, then the team works together by giving and taking philosophy as a team and deliver the best. So, more people involvement, lesser processes, that is taking place. The third one is the platform. The platform shall encourage more automation. Here, test driven development takes place, TDD, wherein test scripts are being given at the beginning of the project after we finalize the requirements, and everybody is aiming at creating something which is passing those tests. So, test scripts are given to development team as well. So, like that transparency is being maintained. Then continuous integration is the emphasis here. Here the incremental development takes place. We take one requirement and build the workable product for it and deploy it. Then we take the next and integrate it and deploy it. Then we take the next requirement and then build the software component for it, integrate it and develop it. Like that we go on delivering it. So, continuous integration using very effective configuration management tool becomes very crucial. Like this, people with higher motivation and skill are combined with the processes which are encouraging more exchange of ideas, are combined with platform which are encouraging more test automation and integration. We mix up all these three and to deliver our product. Here people need to be empowered, their question need to be answered, communication need to be transparent, team needs to face the customer, and we need to be motivated, and we have to release every 2 weeks one small workable component, and we have to enable the people to perform all these. If we want to have good people, then there should be agile team attitude should be there. So, agile team attitude encourages self-organizing teams, means based on the requirements, based on the need, go on adjusting yourself to the changes, find the best solution, and then improve upon the skills regularly and deliver the best. That is being done as a basic attitude in the agile team. And in the agile team, we expect certain characteristics in the people. Here we are looking for the lean thinking, which is always product oriented. We have to encourage communication and collaboration within the teams along with the customer regularly, and we have to go on enhancing the capability of the people by exchanging the ideas and encouraging exchange of knowledge among the team members, and also we have to make the team members to be aware of the issues, best practices, and any change that is coming from the customer. And we also expect ability to respond to a change in a fastest manner. So, the team should be having adaptability with lean thinking, with a greater communication and collaboration, with higher capabilities. By having these things, we are interested in inspecting the closely whatever has been created irrespective of our roles and responsibilities, by adapting meaningfully to deliver high quality software. The platform that we need in the agile is demanding for higher automation, and environments need to be ready so as to hold on the configuration items that are coming across every day and have them in our configuration management tool, then integrate them and deploy. Being worked in different agile projects, whenever there is a need to use agile, always think from 4 different dimensions. One dimension is from business facing angle, second one is from support programming side, third one is technology facing, and fourth one is working as a critic of the product. What actually is being done here is, once the requirement for developing any project using agile comes to me, then always I considered all these 3 phases. By considering these things, I looked at using the business terminologies to convince the customer, but whereas when I integrate or interface with my team members, I use the equivalent interior terminology, After that, user centered bug reports, not aiming at usability, then the portability, maintainability, reliability, functionality. So, all these different types of bug reports come, but I am not very keen on such bug reports. I am more keen on user centered bug reports. If I show my product to the user, what may be the possible views that may be coming from the user, from that angle only I look at it. So, where these agile methods are working. So, agile work wonderfully in small or medium sized products. However, we have got lesser evidences about success of the agile in large and very large projects. Agile also is working nicely in customer system development within an organization, because in an organization the skill and competency and knowledge and trust among the team members is already existing. The environment is homogeneous, people understanding each other's views better, the strengths and weaknesses of the individuals are known to others. Under these environments, the agile methods are working in a nice manner. Agiles are not working effectively when too many external rules and regulations are forced upon the development team. Agile methods for software maintenance, if we look at it, very few maintenance projects with agile methods are being reported, because when we build earlier version of the software and deploy it, possibly our documentation may not be intensive. Good maintenance requires good product knowledge and good documentation. Since while developing and deploying the version which has come for maintenance now, the documentation may not be intensive and it may not be up to mark, then obviously the exchange about the knowledge on the product will be less. Because of that, maintaining such software may be a very tedious work. Can agile methods be used effectively for evolving a system in response to customer change requests? Means, since we have not maintained good documentation like a requirement specification and other things, we may be very brief concept note or user stories. The customer change requests which are coming in software maintenance may not be considered easily, because we do not know the traceability metrics. We might not have maintained them. If I try to incorporate change, which are the components that are being affected by this new change and how can I integrate it, that may not be clearly coming to my idea. Because of that, maintenance of the software may be quite challenging, and acceptance of the customer change request is also not an easy task. Where the usually agile fails? Agile usually fails when we try to put the agile in a project which is to be delivered as a fixed price contract, because agile aims at workable product and it allows the people to experiment with the ideas. While doing it, we may use more effort and price of the cost also may increase, and because of that, if we accept software development with fixed price contract, then we may fail to make a profit out of it. So, fixed price contract type of projects may not be good for agile development, and expecting all of the scope to be delivered also may not be acceptable in agile, because here requirement specification will not be working as the contract on us, which is working as obligation to be delivered, but instead of that, there is a seamless communication between development organization and the customer, who are discussing what is relevant, what is important. If the requirements are not being delivered, then if it is fine, then we accept it and proceed. Because of that, in most of the agile projects, the complete fulfillment of the scope may not be taking place. And in the rush of delivering something workable after every 2 weeks, there is the possibility that the team leader may be pushing the team to deliver more and more, seeking them to work extra hours. If we push the team to work hard, making them to work towards unrealistic demands, then the team may lose the motivation, then we may not be getting innovation and better quality product. Because of that, Agile requires the flexible and plus motivation team rather than the allocating and setting higher demands unrealistically on the team. Focusing on project execution efficiency as against product value delivered. Agile focuses upon delivering the value rather than sticking to the project schedule. So, if the project manager who worked on conventional software development life cycles continues to use his conditioned learning of making his team members to focus on project execution, sticking to the schedule, using the given effort instead of expecting better value product by being flexible in effort and schedule, then the agile attitude we are not seeing in that project leader. So, project execution efficiency, if it is being used by the project manager, then agile fails to create the value. So, the project manager or leader must focus on product value creation. In summary, in agile we have to imagine something, we have to create test scripts for that, and we have to distribute those test scripts to all the team members. By understanding what are the tests the product has to fulfill, we encourage the people to solve the product. After solving the product, we run the test scenario. If the test scenario is successful, then we accept it. If running the test scripts fails, then we have to improve upon by refactoring the entire software and incorporating some changes and building it, once again testing it. After completing all these things, then once we think that the product has fulfilled everything and the product has been built to fulfill the expectations of all the stakeholders, then we bring that particular component into configuration management tool and we integrate it and deploy it. So, like this, imagine something, solve it, then test by involving all relevant stakeholders. If there is a difference, improve upon and continue improving upon till it stabilizes. Once it is stabilizing, bring into the configuration management tool and integrate it and deploy it. Like this it works. Like this we are continuing with our agile methodology. Remember, you cannot do agile, you can only be agile. Means agile is not a process, agile is an attitude, agile is open thinking, agile encourages discussion and seamless communication and interaction among team members, and agile expects all the stakeholders to focus upon delivering workable product which should add value to all the stakeholders. If we have to do it, we should be adaptive and we should be agile by very nature. Thank you.